disheveled a little bit, but I got them some food and just kind of played some games with them. I couldn't speak their language. They couldn't speak my language, but they knew what fun was. They knew what games were. But then all of a sudden, something happened to where there were the loud sounds and these worried looks on these girls' faces. They started to run. They ran away, and I could see them running. And in the distance, you could see them get picked up by somebody, and I started running after them because I knew it was not somebody that they knew. But the hotel manager that was there told me not to worry about it because it happens every day. That runs through my mind all the time, wishing I could run and grab those girls. But then at that moment, I knew that what God wanted me to do. I began to pray, God, how can I help this situation? What can I do to fix this? And I began to pray the next couple months. The Lord began to speak into my heart to come back to Thailand to start this ministry called Promised Land Ministries, because Thailand is a hub for trafficking. You have children that come from all over the world, from Russia, from Europe, from America, from different places in Thailand, and they're trafficked there. They're sold to Russian mafia, Chinese triad, the cartel, different places, different things. And I was like, God, I don't know. I've never run a business before. I've never done this kind of work before. But God began to open up the doors for me, and I worked with an organization that my wife, I met her at. I learned a lot from them. And she was actually my translator when I was there. So we met playing Uno with some of the kids that they've rescued there, and so I call her my Uno. So, but it was then I knew that God wanted me to go and come back to Southeast Asia. So in 2017, I came back to America. I sold all my stuff, started Promised Land Ministries, and moved overseas. Didn't know the language, didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew what God told me to do. And we started. After we got married in December of 2017, we got 3 girls in 2017, but now we're at 40. So we're praising God for that, and y'all have been a part of that. You have, and we're hoping to rescue more and buy some land. I'll show you some of these pictures. If you go to the next slide, please. These are 2 of our girls that we've helped and rescued. They have just graduated chef school, so we're very, very proud of them. They didn't know what they were going to do with their life. They didn't know what was going to happen to them, but we were able to take care of them and get them into school and help change their life, and they send their thank you. So now they're employed at a Japanese restaurant being chefs there, and so they send their thank you. If you go to the next slide as well. We have many kids. We're renting houses right now. We have house parents at each house that we train and teach, and they help train and teach the kids. So this is Pastor Kim and his wife, and with some of the girls, we were able to send them to get some ice cream. That's not something they get to have all the time. But we try to do some fun things once a month with them, and some ice cream. They were able to get that at this place called Swenson's, which is actually, I believe, a California ice cream shop place, but they have one in Thailand, and so they were able to get that, and so they say thank you for helping them get ice cream. It is real ice cream. Oh well, we do have some ice cream over there. It's actually good. It's actually good ice cream. So when I first moved to Thailand, Thailand's a hot place. It's hot all the time. But when I wanted some ice cream one time, and there's this ice cream cart that came by, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yummy ice cream!" And she hadn't very taught me much yet about the culture of Thailand, so I got to learn stuff on my own. Uh, so the ice cream that is like on these little small carts that go through town is actually you get a piece of bread and you have this little scoop of ice cream with rice. And so there's like sticky rice inside the ice cream. There's also beans and corn in the ice cream as well. And it's actually quite good, I promise. I was a little surprised first when I put it in my mouth and I tasted beans. But, it was good. I was hot, it was cold, and it worked. But, but yeah. So, but yeah, this is different ice cream. This is like chocolate and caramel and all kinds of sundaes and stuff like that. Good sundaes. So, all right, next slide for me, please. This is another house. This is some of our kids at our house, and our my niece and her husband are taking care of them right now while we're overseas. They've been a great help to us. She's taking care of things as kind of the field director over there right now while we're here. She sends me reports while we're raising money and different things like that. I do want to pause here and tell you a story about some of these girls here. They've come a long way. You see the two girls there in the black Hmong tribe dresses. There's 12 different tribes there in Thailand, and the Hmong tribe, they have this tradition where when come New Year's, the 10 to 12-year-old girls are presented to men, and they're able to buy them as a wife or a bride, or to do whatever they want with them. If they want to sell them themselves, they can do that. And it was about getting close to the time that these two girls were going to be sold. Their parents didn't really want them, didn't really care about them. We got a call from a pastor about them. They were searching through the trash for food, didn't have anything, didn't have a lot of clothes, were malnourished, and said that they needed help. They needed help before they were getting sold. And so my wife went and talked with them, and we were able to get them in. And the first few weeks was really hard for them to be with us because of the mindset, the stuff they've had to grow up with, and the abuse that they received, and different things like that. I remember, we had started to buy food. We bought a lot of food, and I knew that as we were getting more kids in, the food was going to go fast, but I didn't think it was going to go by this fast. And so I remember one night we stayed up kind of in the living room, found out that these two girls were going into the kitchen and they were hiding food to bring into their room. Because they felt like they saw that mindset where they didn't know if they were going to have food the next day, if they were going to be taken care of the next day. But we were able to sit down with them and said that you live in a house that serves the Lord. And David says, I'm young, and I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his children begging for bread. And I said, you're not going to have to beg for bread anymore. God's going to take care of you. We're going to take care of you. And their lives have been changed. And now they're really shy, but now they're speaking and teaching the word, and leading worship. There's another girl. She's in the blue. Her name is Fa. Now over there in Thailand, some of the Russian mafia and triad and other gangs are trying to get more girls to volunteer to sell their self. And so they don't have to go out and kidnap them and different things like that. And so what they're doing is they're trying to get other girls that they already have to make videos and different things like that to send out and say, you know, if you sell yourself, you'll get a cut of the money of what they receive and stuff like that. Well, Fa, her mom is one of those girls that does that, and she has tried all kinds of things. She has a lot of different men in her life because of that, and she really didn't want to take care of her daughter, and she just kind of shifted her off to the side and was going, you know, she was coming to the age of where she could have been sold, and her mom began to talk to her about things. You know, at 8 years old, they start doing those types of things. And so she began to talk to her about these things, and we were able to get her. And before that happened, but she has dealt with so much anguish inside her. She began to cut herself and was really depressed of why would my mom want to sell me? Why would my mom want to do this to me? Sometimes those questions are really hard. You don't really have an answer. I don't know why your mom would want to do that to you. I don't. Sometimes I don't have an answer. But I do have a loving God that loves you and cares for you and has a plan for you to walk into the promises that He has for you. And she's so grown up now. We taught her some guitar, but now she can play that thing like somebody else. She plays drums, and she helps lead worship now. And one of the last things she said to me with tears down her face as I dropped her off at school before I came back here to raise money is, "Thank you for changing my life." And I send that thank you to you because you have helped change their life. You have helped change each and every one of these girls' lives. A lot of these children are sold at a young age, 4 to 8. They try to change their looks to make them look older. Sometimes they go through surgeries to make them look older. The boys are sold at a very young age. Sometimes the parents and grandparents will, as soon as the boy is born, if they know that what they're gonna do to them, they start giving them estrogen to change them into what they call over there a lady boy. Here you would call a transgender. And then they sell them into the sex trade. And then sometimes when the buyer finds out that they're actually a male, and sometimes they will kill them because they don't want a male. And so there's a lot of things that we deal with, a lot of things that we have to witness. It's hard. It's hard stuff that we have to cope with and deal with. But thank God we're able to rescue them, and thank God we're able to help change their life. If you go to the next slide for me, there's some of our kids on our agriculture home. We teach them how to take care of rice fields, cows, pigs, chickens, all kinds of stuff, how to plant fruit and vegetables and different things like that. So this is some of our kids and our house parents here with them. Now, not all of our kids are pictured here. We do have 40 we take care of, but I just wanted to show you some of them. And each of them have a story. They all have a story. and they all have a testimony. And I know that if they were here with you, they would just say how much they love you and how much thanks they would give to you, because without your giving, even though if you're not over there, without your giving, they would not be able to be where they are today. And your prayers have helped so much as well. If you go to the next slide for me. This is some land that we're looking at trying to buy. We're trying, like I said, we're renting our homes right now. We're trying to find pieces of land to buy and put homes, physical homes on there that we don't have to rent. So just be praying with us. Pray with us about this land. We're trying to raise money for the land. We're also trying to raise money to build homes as well. Land is more expensive than building the homes, so which I think might be vice versa in America. But we know we serve a big God and the God that provides, and He owns the cattle of 1,000 hills. So I just want you to just be in prayer with us to show you what it is. There's already a house on this, but we could build 2 more houses on this piece of property as well, and would love to have. If any of y'all know how to build something, if y'all want to go on a mission trip to Thailand, you can come over and help us build it. So let's go to the next slide. I'll just show you exactly what we're raising money for. So building 2 homes would cost us about $137,000. Buying land with the home that I just showed you would cost us about $250,000. And then, of course, support every month, $50 per child. $50 per month will help us with the child, helps them with food, clothes. Schooling is not free. They can't go to, it's not like public school. You go to and send them off to school, but you have to pay no matter what, if it's private, public, government school, whatever you want to call it. It costs money. And so that's why there's a lot of families there in Thailand that don't send their children to school because of the price it is. And so we want to make sure they all have good education. We teach them different trades. We teach them English, teach them how to take care of their finances. We teach them how to make clothes and stuff like that out there, which we do by donations. And so all of this, we have a vision for the future. To once we have a larger piece of land, we want to teach them how to, take care of their car. Teach them, maybe have like a hair salon there and teach them how to cut hair. Different things. So they have different opportunities, so they can learn different things and see what the Lord has for them and walk into their promised land. So. That's Promised Land Ministries. We seek to rescue those that are in trafficking as well. That's a bit longer process and harder once they're inside the sex trade. It's a little bit longer process, and you have to be more tactful about that because there are you could get shot, you could get killed. We do deal with that kind of stuff, but we know God is protecting us and leading us and guiding us, and we really have to rely on be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove verse. So we have to be wise in what we do and also be careful as well. And so I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of, there's not enough thanks that I could say, because you all support us and you all help us with these kids. Just be in prayer for us, continue prayer for us, pray for the land, pray for the houses, be in prayer and see if God wants you to give more, if God lays that on your heart to do that. I just want to give you an opportunity to be obedient to God as well. So I do want to leave you with this one thought, something that I teach the kids as well. And so this can be for the kids here as well, or for all of you. But in Genesis chapter 37, we have the story of Joseph. And Joseph was 17 years old, and he had these dreams, right? And the dreams he was so excited about, because it kind of showed that he was going to be this great person. And he shared those dreams with his family. He shared those dreams with his brothers and his mom and his dad and everything. But they didn't take too kindly to those kind of dreams. And so what sometimes I tell my kids is just say, like, be careful who you talk to your dreams about, because they live in a culture where if they were to live in their village or live at school, even some of the teachers there at school, they'll talk bad to them and say, you will amount to nothing. You came from this village, you won't be able to do anything, or you don't do that. So I'd say that be careful who you tell your dreams to, because Joseph told his dreams, and then we never see him dream again, but instead he interpreted other people's dreams, right? And so sometimes God puts something within us, and we have to keep that within our hearts and keep it within our minds first before we get to walk into it. We have to hide it within our hearts, just like Mary, when the angel told Mary what was going to happen, that she was going to be giving birth to the Son of God. And it says that she hid those things in her heart, right? Because there's not everybody in the world is going to be open to what God puts into your heart. And so you need to make sure that you hide that in your heart and seek God about it, and really ask the Lord, okay, God, let me walk the way you want to walk. You see, when God told me that I needed to move to Thailand and do sex trafficking, I didn't know who to tell. I was like, okay. Okay. So, I had to hide that in my heart for a little while, and I prayed about it, and I prayed about it, and I prayed about it. And then when I felt ready, I told my mom. My mom wasn't too excited about it, to be honest. But then she told me later on, she said God checked her, because God reminded her, did you not dedicate your son to me when he was born? Did you not pray over his feet? Who has him in his hands? God has each of you in his hands. He has a calling on your life, whether that be here in the city, in the state, somewhere else. God has something for you. Pray about it. Seek the Lord, because God has a promised land for you. Well, thank you all so much. I love you. God bless you.